I've made over 1 million coffees in my life, so I'm going to teach you how to froth milk the way that I wish somebody taught me when I first started. So there's 2 phases to steaming milk, but before that I've got to teach you the ground rules, because nobody teaches new baristas these crucial things that you need to know before you even think about steaming milk. And the first ground rule is how to hold the jug.
When you hold the jug correctly, it means you can steam better milk more consistently. So to do that, the first thing you need to do is have one hand that holds the handle of the jug, and then the other hand that's going to turn the steam on and take the temperature of the milk by holding the other side of the jug. But the real key here that most baristas overlook is to have your hands and the jug touching the machine in some way. So you can see here I've got 3 points of contact with the machine. I've got my right hand holding the jug and resting on the machine. I've got my left hand holding the jug and resting on the machine. And then I've also got the rim of the jug touching the steam wand. And there's 2 advantages to steaming this way. The first one is that you're steaming milk in the same position every single time. So once you get perfect milk, you can just repeat it over and over. And the second advantage is that if you get distracted, if you turn around, if you got to grab something, you're not going to accidentally add a whole bunch of air into your milk because the jug's just not going to move. That's why I never steam milk by putting the steam on in the spout, because there's too much room for error and accidentally adding air. The second rule is you always got to purge the steam on before and after you steam milk. This clears any water or old milk, and it's especially important if you've got a weaker machine.
And the third rule is never steam more milk than you need.
That's because you're either going to waste a lot of milk or constantly have to reheat old milk, plus you're going to be less consistent with the quality.
And the fourth rule is when you're learning, use soap and water to practice.
Because you can learn exactly how to steam milk, get your technique sorted, and get used to your machine without wasting milk or money.
Okay, now let's learn phase 1 of steaming milk, aeration. So the goal of the aeration phase is to add all the froth we need as quick as we can, and definitely before the milk gets warm.
So to aerate, you need to place the wand roughly 1 centimeter below the milk surface. And from the top view, the wand should follow the curvature of the jug, and from the side view, the angle should be around 60 degrees. When you place the steam wand like this, it's going to allow you to both aerate and control the milk, so that the milk spins instead of just jumping around and over aerating. Now, if you position the wand too deep in the milk, you won't add any air. But if the wand's too high up on the milk surface, you'll froth the milk way too much and end up with a baby chino. How long you need to aerate for is going to depend on the machine. The more powerful the steam one, then the quicker you can get the aeration done. If it's a weaker machine, it's going to take longer. Plus, if you're making numerous coffees, then you need to steam a higher volume of milk. So that means you'll need to add more air and you'll need to spend more time aerating. And so how do you know if you're aerating properly? Well, first is the sound. If you're aerating properly, it's going to sound like this. But if the milk makes this terrible screaming sound, then that means you haven't added enough or any air. And the second way to tell if you've aerated properly is by looking at how much the milk has risen inside the jug. So if the level of the milk is the same as when you first started steaming and it's screaming, then it means you haven't added any air. Or if the milk is starting to spill out of the jug and it's making a really low sound, then it means you've added way too much air.
Okay, now it's time for phase 2, texturing the milk.
When you texture the milk, you're going to turn the froth that you made in phase 1 into smooth and creamy microfoam. That's what's going to give us a really silky, delicious flat white, latte or cappuccino, and to be able to pour latte art. Now the secret to texturing milk is the vortex. That's where you get the milk to spin both around the jug and down, causing the milk to fold and compress into itself and become extremely smooth. Now the first trick to the vortex is to keep the milk spinning just like you did in phase 1 by having the wand pointed around the jug. You really need to avoid pointing the wand at the wall or down the middle or having the wand too close to the wall. Next, you need to stop adding air by slightly lifting the jug so that the wand goes deeper into the milk, or by letting the milk naturally rise enough that the wand automatically goes deeper and stops adding air. You can see here how I didn't move the jug at all. I aerated the milk rose, and then the wand became deeper and stopped adding air. The really crucial thing here is that once you've added enough air and you've got the milk locked into a vortex, you really want to avoid moving the jug at all and accidentally adding any air. This is one of the most common mistakes even professional baristas make, and it completely wrecks the milk. And so once you've nailed the aeration and texturing phases, it's just a matter of keeping the vortex locked in to get that silky smooth milk until you've brought the milk up to temperature. Now finally, once you know how to steam milk that's both got enough air in it and textured well enough, you're going to be able to do 2 things. The first thing is you're going to be able to make a coffee that just tastes delicious. And the second thing is you're going to be able to pour latte art more effectively. And to learn latte art, you'd usually have to pour hundreds and hundreds of coffees. So in the next Clayman video, I'm going to show you how to pour latte art, and I'm going to break it down into all the components and make it super easy to follow so that you can pour latte art in a dozen or so coffees instead of hundreds and hundreds. So if you want to speed run your latte art skills, then hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the latte art video.